No, my Speedcube collection is not $1,000. But before you click away, I want you to listen to the story behind each cube. Every single one of these cubes helped me get to where I am right now. I started cubing all the way back in 2019. I can't believe it's been 7 years though. However, the first cube I have ever solved and owed my passion to Speedcubing to is my original Rubik's Cube. Late 2019. I was sick of looking at my eternally unsolved Rubik's Cube in my room. So I started watching a JPERM tutorial on how to solve a Rubik's Cube. The first time I tried to follow the tutorial, a mismove must have happened on the last layer, as I couldn't orientate the edges properly. Frustrated, I slammed the cube down and scrambled it, losing all my progress, and I decided to come back to it with a clean slate tomorrow. Next day, I felt in the rhythm. Each step went by quicker, and I started understanding how moves affect pieces in different ways. I eventually got to the last step, and hoped that all the pieces would line up together and not become fully messed up. Awe struck me as I turned my last 4 calculated moves slower than normal, and saw that the cube became fully solved. This is the story of my first time solving a Rubik's Cube. Naturally, I became hooked and memorized the entire beginner method back to front until I can solve my Rubik's Cube in under 2 minutes. However, I started to feel the limitations of the original Rubik's Cube. Though iconic, it is very slow at turning, so I decided to buy myself a good Speedcube. As soon as I got my GTS 3M, I knew what I was getting into. State-of-the-art turning and corner cutting in 2020, and supreme turn feeling. My times instantly dropped from 2 minutes to 1 minute 30, approaching 1 minute very quickly. I knew I had to start learning CFOP if I wanted to continue improving past 1 minute, so I decided to learn F12 early so I can get an improvement head start. This process was a struggle, however, as I could barely comprehend the process during the first tutorials I've watched. However, eventually, I got the hang of it, and then I started learning 2-look OLL and 2-look PLL, which was a breeze, and then over the course of 2 years of on and on practice, I got a sub 30 average with my GTS 3M. However, during late 2022, I lost interest in cubing. Maybe it was due to other hobbies, or that I genuinely stopped liking it. However, this break lasted a good while until mid-2024. After hearing about the absolute stellar reviews received by the V9, I decided to buy the 20 magnet ball core to motivate myself to get back into cubing. And it worked really well. I went from sub 35 all the way to sub 20 and learning full PLL and grinding out hundreds and hundreds of souls over the course of a year. Then, in early 2025, I went to my first speedcubing competition with my V9 and I got 2 sub 20 averages of 5, which I was extremely proud of. There is also a corner that has been chipped from me dropping it, which just serves as a testament to the immense number of solves I did with this cube in such a short period of time. After the competition, I didn't really have a direction, so I kept on grinding solves mindlessly over the course of a year, and only improved 4 seconds to sub 16. So early this year, I got the V11 and I started learning full OLL with it. I would say the performance on this cube was absolutely perfect, and I would go as far as saying it is a modern feat of engineering. Now, in July this year, I still mained the V11 and averaged around 14.5 seconds, and I only now have 16 more OLL algorithms to learn until I know full OLL. Now for my first ever 5x5 cube, I received it as a gift from my uncle 3 years ago, back in 2023. I didn't really cube with this cube too much, and I was a bit more focused on the 3x3. However, I did learn to solve it, and I got a best time of roughly 5 minutes with this cube using the beginner method. Then, investing in a good 5x5 cube like this made me learn the reduction method with free edge slicing. And with a bit of dedicated and focused practice, in 1 year I got to averaging around 2.5 minutes with this cube. Now, for my Pyraminx. I got this Pyraminx the same day I got my GTS 3M, which was around 6 years ago. I still use this as my Pyraminx main to this day, and I usually get sub 9 averages with it. This cube has been very good and held up very strongly. However, over this long period, one of the tips, I think it's, this one, has gotten a bit stiff. So, yeah, I find that quite annoying, but I don't think it will affect my times very much. But this is a very good Pyraminx. So this is my speedcubing collection as a humble cubing YouTuber. I hope you enjoyed the stories behind my cubes and the 7-year progression to reaching this point. Thank you so much for watching, and if you made it this far into the video, a like and a subscribe would mean the world to me.